Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Cover 4 Sports. 4 guys covering sports, except he's back.
Finally.
To my endearing fans, Barcelona's beautiful, and so is the ocean. I don't regret anything.
Regret nothing.
Well, you missed some quality sports coverage.
River definitely regretted a couple of things though.
Well, I saw that you guys had River step in for me, and I got to tell you, bringing in someone that has no knowledge of sports and just to fill in for me, right? It makes me feel there's no way you felt I would be replaced. But man, that created some entertainment. I saw the short of him taking those shots, and the worst part was he was actually so close. He really. I thought the Titans actually might pull that thing out.
He didn't have to double it though.
He did.
He was good at it.
Man, he did that hard. The sack number for Russell Wilson to get the sacks, not be sacked. He really came up way short on that.
Yeah, just slightly.
He was sacked a lot.
He was sacked a lot. And just unfortunately, that's not what we're called. So.
I was really looking for the plus or minus on that.
Yeah, the plus or minus on number of sacks for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, 3 plus.
Yeah, they traded Bradley Chubb. I don't know where they were going to put everybody, so just welcome Bradley Chubb. Enjoy the new team with the winners. Anyways, all right. So I know we got some topics and everything. Dawson, why don't you kick us off? What do we got?
Yeah. So the big topic of the week is QB controversy.
Okay.
QB controversy.
There's a lot of that this week. After last week, there's a lot of talk about QBs, who should be starting, who shouldn't be starting, who's the future, is there a future?
Are both of them not the future? Yeah, I feel like we got a lot. Yeah, no, I agree. So, let's start with the Jets, right? That's got to be the first one, right? So
Big win this week for the
okay, are we really going to talk about a big win over Trevor Siemian and the Bears?
But they got more than 3 points. Let's go! Jets.
I actually saw something that kind of interested me on this game. It was like, the Bears defense has been so bad that this actually would have been the perfect game to keep Zach Wilson in, to let him start and get some confidence and get that offense rolling, because basically any quarterback could have had a pretty good game against them. So like, why the person you picked number 2 overall, why would you not give him that ego boost and let him have a good game and get him right back on track?
It wasn't even just the Fields.
But is that Saleh keeping the locker room?
It is
with him, not with Zach Wilson.
Definitely.
So does that kick Zach Wilson out? I mean, there can only be one big dog in the locker room, or how you have it, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Saleh said, "I'm making that decision to say that this team is more important than Zach Wilson's comments and asinine behavior."
I mean, everybody saw the straw that broke the camel's back when he was in an interview at the press conference after a game where the defense kept shutting him down, going to the 3 points until the bitter end. And they asked him, like, hey, do you feel like, I don't know, you were responsible for maybe, fucking putting up 3 points on a single touchdown the entire game? He's like, dude, me? No, bro.
He's like, dude, it was windy. And then
Coach got pissed off by that. I know the team was pissed off by that. Mike White comes in and gets a good win. I think it's a good transitioning point in the season, because this team, they already lost pretty solid. They're still rocking with backups in the running game. They're trying to adapt to their season at this point. They have a great defense. They still got hella good wide receivers. I'm just saying, they're in the playoffs right now.
I agree with Saleh. I would have done the same thing.
I mean, I can get distracted if I'm getting a blowjob from Giselle, which I'm pretty sure is what was happening for Zach Wilson. So I mean, he got distracted, and then with Giselle being his new girlfriend and whatnot. So I mean, I get it, but I will say this is a strange situation, because you are.
That's one way to put it.
You're broken as a franchise now. You either follow the head coach, go with Mike White.
You follow the head coach and finally get your winning record in like the first time.
But a winning record that probably leads to nothing, right? If we're being honest, Zach Wilson's probably your best chance at future, maybe, or do you continue with this great? The team's playing great. Mike White maybe even elevates them, but no one's going to play for Zach Wilson. So do you kind of tank the rest of the season, try to hope for a different quarterback? Or
is it really tanking though if you're starting a quarterback that is performing better? Mike White has
no. I'm saying you tank if you put Zach Wilson back in, because no one will play for that guy. We'll have a longest yard situation. They'll turn to the side and let him get sacked. Adam Sandler will go to the ground real quick. I mean, the only way Zach Wilson wins this team back is if he rushes for 22 yards on 4th and 21 and loses his helmet right before he goes. That's the only way he gets this team back.
The only way Zach Wilson takes the field this season again is if Mike White loses a game, or not loses a game, if he gets injured in a game and like comes out and has to.
Or if he plays poorly, they might put him back in.
So I mean, it's Thursday. Have they said is Mike White playing, or are they're dead silent?
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't heard
Mike White's
anything
playing,
about
but I
it.
haven't heard any answer yet.
All I know is Mike White's completion percentage is almost 20% better than Zach Wilson's this year, or like actually like overall for their careers. And his QBR is like 30 points higher than Zach Wilson's as well. So Mike White is the better quarterback right now. There's no doubt about it. He's the one that's performing better. He's playing better. And the Jets, they have a good enough defense, I think, to take them to the playoffs.
I think that's
So,
amazing.
and they have playmakers on offense. It sucks that that running back got hurt, but I still think if they have a solid quarterback play, they can make playoffs. And they're not gonna do anything like win a conference championship or anything, but for a franchise that's been struggling as much as they have, making playoffs is a good start. And I like the way Salah is heading that team in the right direction. And I think the move that he made this week was the right move because you don't want to lose the locker room and you want everybody to be focused. And if your QB, the leader of the team, he was a captain. Like they had him pinned as a captain. And if he's setting that kind of example, you may be doing really well, but it's gonna fall off real quick if you let that slide. So I think he did the right thing.
Well, and what's interesting? It seems like Salah is not in line with the GM. Let's note a small other point here. The Robinson trade. Did not play last week. Healthy scratch. He was suited. He was able to go out there. Not a single play did he play. But big trade. But big trade the GM took to get him in. Gave away some capital. Wilson's part of the capital they spent to get him in. Salah's not playing that game. Similar to Dayball in the Giants. If you're listening to the GM, you should probably be playing Kenny Galladay. But these coaches, they're playing.
That brought Kenny Galladay in though. I thought they redid the
that
GM and the head coach.
might be true.
I think it was the old tenure that.
But I think logically speaking, if you're listening to not football, if you're listening to the money, you go to places. You play James Robinson. You play Wilson, and then you play Galladay. But these coaches, they're saying, "I know better," and I think they do. So is this the end of the GM for the Jets? I mean, he's fucking up if we believe in Salah. So it's just
I think Salah has a good.
look, the Jets have been decimated
They do
for
it
years.
49ers.
This is the only
The Jets
thing
are-
that have looked good.
We're talking about playoffs and Jets.
And we got
Saints.
don't forget about Sauce.
That
Gardner.
defense is still shut down. I mean, they're in the playoffs right now. I'm just saying, I feel like you're not in a tank situation at all. If you're in the wild card race,
Can't
go for it. Go for it.
But I just the disconnect in that franchise is the same thing that Jets fans have been complaining about all year. Or all lives. I mean,
At least they have a coach to believe.
at least you have a coach to believe in. But I mean, this goes. I mean, I'll bring back the Dolphins. I loved Brian Flores, but ownership, GM didn't see eye to eye. Didn't see eye to eye, and he's gone. Now I love Mike McDaniel, who does see eye to eye. Everyone sees eye to eye. That's what you need. So I think they're one step closer to the right direction. But you've got to get a GM in there that's listening to Salah. I know that took a little bit of a turn, but yeah.
A coaching staff that's in disarray, QB controversy, and a chance at a playoff run. I want to talk about a team in the NFC that's very similar to this, guys. The QB controversy you guys all want to cover, right? Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield. The Carolina Panthers. I've looked at the remaining schedules for all the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the Saints. And the easiest schedule remaining is hands down the Carolina Panthers.
Carolina does still have a chance at playoffs.
There's
Carolina,
no
they're
way
one-
that's true.
They're one game
They do.
behind
They do.
of first place, and they're in fourth place.
So if they win
They
the
have
division, they
four
can make
wins.
They
playoffs.
have 4 wins.
Yeah.
Atlanta
You play
has
Sam Darnold.
5 wins.
Sam
And
Darnold
so
Saints
does
have
Tampa
4 wins,
Bay.
and Tampa has
Sam
5
Darnold
wins.
has 6
Oh my God!
They're in fourth place
And
in the
it's
division.
Atlanta,
Did you
They have
ever
probably the best
think-
probability.
Did you ever think
It's the NFC East all over again.
No, it's work. But did you ever think a division that included Tom Brady would be in a situation where we're even having this conversation? Unbelievable.
But
I
do
mean,
we
he's
think
done.
that a Carolina team without CMC would even be in the picture? I mean, it's a crazy world.
I'd go Sam Darnold.
You shy of your garage.
He's been in that system longer. He knows the offense. But let's get to a team that actually matters. Because even if they do make playoffs, that team's out first round.
I mean, I think.
Well, this team doesn't really matter, I guess, either.
Wait, hold on. Before we move on, Darnold or Baker?
Darnold.
Yeah.
Darnold.
I think it's got to be Darnold, right? What happened to PJ Walker? He's hurt, right? So
We've seen how trash Baker is.
I guess it's all Darnold. Baker got all fucked up, that week he was running around banging his head with everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe the better question should be Brady or Gabbard.
We've seen how smart he is.
God.
Alright, but let's talk about Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers, because this is a real interesting story. We got the MVP, Mr. Championship Bell himself, Aaron Rodgers.
The discount double check.
Discount double check, MVP double time. And then you have someone that took Jordan Love, traded up to get him in the first round. And he looked pretty good after Aaron Rodgers stepped out with that injury.
Christian Watson.
And Aaron Rodgers is still injured, there's no doubt. He has injuries he's playing through. I think they're 4-8 right now. So the playoffs is basically out of the picture for them.
I mean,
let's not give up on the NFC. I mean, 8-8 probably, or 8-9, 8-9.
Regardless, at some point,
wild cards.
you've had Jordan Love for
the Niners right there, the freaking Commanders over there doing better.
Yeah, so Taylor Heinicke's supposed to keep going. Okay, sure. All right.
We got Jordan Love going into his third year. You spent a first round draft pick on him, a pretty high one at that. When do you say Rodgers, why don't you sit out, get over some of these injuries, recover, because the season's kind of lost. Even if they did make playoffs, they have no weapons on offense besides running backs. I mean, of course they have great running backs, but they have nobody to throw to. And you spent that high first round draft pick on this kid. Don't you want to see what he's got before that contract ends, before that rookie contract ends, while he's still getting paid pretty cheaply? Don't you want to see what value you have there in case you do want to trade him, maybe move on, or maybe you think that he is the future of your franchise and you want to trade Aaron Rodgers? Regardless, if either of those quarterbacks is really good, you have huge trade assets that you can get multiple things back for him. If Jordan Love plays the next couple games and balls out, does really well, you could get some high first round draft picks for that guy. And he's just sitting on your bench right now, and you don't. Me personally, I don't see Green Bay going anywhere this year. You can say that he still has a chance. Aaron Rodgers says they still have a chance, but I'm not seeing him going anywhere. And so for me, I'm trying to see what value I have in Jordan Love, because you kind of tied to Aaron Rodgers at this point. Aaron Rodgers isn't leaving unless he wants to, but Jordan Love is a huge trade asset if he's good. He looked pretty good in that game that he played against the Eagles in the limited time that he had. So I would like to see what trade assets I have and move on from one of them. You got two quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round. It's a waste of value in my opinion.
Well, and honestly, you said it perfectly too. And the biggest thing I want to point out there is that the chance of making the playoffs. So, chance is what's going to lead that decision on which quarterback's going to start. So if they still have a chance to the playoffs,
for maybe
do you
two more weeks if they win.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're starting Aaron Rodgers if you have a chance in the playoffs. Flat out.
Depends on the injuries.
Yes,
Aaron Rodgers.
But if he's able to play, he's healthy.
He got something wrong.
But if he's healthy and he wants to play, he's going to play.
Oh yeah.
That's how. So he's going to play. But until that chance is gone, until they can't make the playoffs, I think that's whenever the coaching jumps in and says, let's play Jordan Love for the rest of the season. Let's see what he can do.
I think this is the last season we see with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if he goes to another team or if he retires. I'm not going to predict that one, but I think this is the last season.
He's not retiring unless they cut him.
Nah, he's going to jeopardy.
He has a guaranteed contract.
He's got a lot of money that can be elsewhere as well. He's got other offers for other shit too. Aaron Rodgers can pretty much go to
I'm pretty sure there's shit out there he could do that would make more than his guaranteed contract.
Exactly.
So, but to add on to that,
he gets paid a lot.
Look, I know he gets paid a lot, but I'm just telling you, Aaron Rodgers is a hot commodity in the world. He's got the whole Joe Rogan thing going on. He could be the next Jeopardy host. He's got shit going on. There's nothing to doubt about that. But I'll say this is a very similar situation to a Garoppolo a couple years back with Brady. Garoppolo came out and played those first couple games, and his stock rose and rose and rose, and everyone was like, "We love Garoppolo." We've seen him play 4 games, or maybe it was even 3. I think he got hurt in the 3rd game, and they put him the third Brissett won that game.
They both got
contracts with that.
Quarterbacks.
You got
Get
two
some
starting
forward.
quarterbacks.
Get
Yeah, up
some
until Deshaun Watson comes in, that they got from those 4 games. But what I'm trying to say here is this goes back to your point, Dawson. If Aaron wants to play, Aaron's going to play. And just like Tom Brady drove Garoppolo out, now that looked like the right decision. Garoppolo's been, although I did see a stat the other day, he's won like more games than Joe Montana and
He's a decent quarterback. He's a
something
starting
like that.
quarterback.
Like I mean, it's crazy, and that might just be the genius of Kyle Shanahan when you see how good Mike McDaniel is. I mean, that tree is just amazing. I mean, but what I'll say is this is the same thing. If Aaron wants to play, Aaron's gonna play, and it's that fucking simple.
But he did say he was open to sitting there as a season.
This is not a Geno Smith, Eli Manning situation. You don't bench Eli Manning for Geno Smith. That doesn't happen in this scenario because Eli had no power. He was a doofy fuck. But
they had a streak going for like the most consecutive
games and slick back fucking McAdoo or doo-doo fucker was like, nah, we're going with Geno. They lost that game. It was a disaster. He got fired. I mean, but
As he should have.
as he should have. But that is not happening. If Aaron's gonna play, Aaron's gonna play. And I mean that's where we are.
He has that franchise.
Yeah,
By the
by the
cojones.
balls. By the ball. The Coca-Colas.
Honest.
He's gonna need a wheelbarrow for them Coca-Colas.
But they need to talk Aaron Rodgers into saying, hey, this is for you. Let's get you rested up. You're covered.
Yeah, he's not an idiot.
The season's over. No, they did. I mean, he has all the
Give
control.
him 2 games.
But they had to try to talk him.
Look, give him 2 games. They lose the next 2 games. Yeah, he'll rest up the bones for sure. But if he still thinks there's a chance they can get in the
He's
playoffs,
been saying that. They keep
He's playing.
losing.
I know he's been saying that, but he also one time was, what were they, like 1-4? He was like, we'll just run the table. Man, they ran the fucking table.
They ran the table.
So, I mean, if he needs to run the table now and get to 9-8, I'm not counting him out. I'm certainly not picking against the Packers in the survivor pool, I'll tell you that much. Alright, so, I mean, I think we're all in agreement here.
Yeah.
Aaron runs the show there. I mean, yes, you should get a look at Jordan Love. But
Oh, for sure.
Aaron runs the show.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is going to lead us to our next topic, which we miss so much because we haven't been able to do because of a certain person not being here. Because, of course, us being Cowboys fans, we like a lot of Cowboys fans, so that fill-in was a Cowboys fan, of course.
Or
So-
he even knew what sports were.
Yeah, you know what? We won't even go there. But we finally got a different fan here. We got a Miami fan. So let's do what we love to do, which is going to be a homer or a helpful. And so I'm going to let Alex lead out with his question for us Cowboys fans for a homer or helpful.
All right, so boys, this one's a 2-parter here. 1, can the Cowboys and should the Cowboys win the NFC East? But the second part of that is, if they do, is that more detrimental to their overall path with the way that the wild cards are setting up? By winning the NFC East, are you almost putting yourself in a position where you wind up against more difficult teams? So there's a lot to unpack here, but in reality, I think we all can agree the defense is great at this point. The offense has picked up steam. But what I concern myself with is, and what you all should, as you've seen in the last couple of years, is playoff matchups have been the Achilles heel.
We've won 1 out of 4 with that.
Exactly,
One out
of the Dallas Cowboys. So where do you want to fall so that you can get the easiest path?
I actually like to jump in on this one first because I got a lot of thoughts on this one. I'm just to dump them out fast. First and foremost, on the question of whether or not we can win the NFC East, it all comes down to the Tennessee Titans this week. I looked at the remaining schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they have fucking cupcake matchups other than when they play us. The the Philadelphia Eagles will win most of the remaining games that they play, and the only chance we have to take over first seed is if the Tennessee Titans, because some other team has to beat them. We have 3 losses, they have 1. Some other team has to beat them, so it has to be the Tennessee Titans. They are the only team with the best chance to beat
So
the
the
Eagles.
Titans take them down. They got 2 losses. You take them down. 3 losses.
We have the better divisional record. We take over the division. That is
Because of the
only
loss
way-
to the Commanders.
Yeah,
Okay.
That is the only way we can
The
take the division.
Okay.
And you bring up a very good point because right now out of seeding, I believe we're matched up with the Buccaneers. So
Beautiful.
that is
Please,
honestly,
no.
and it might not even be the Buccaneers. This could wind up being a Carolina Panther matchup.
We talked
Exactly.
about that earlier.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That is
This
true.
matchup right here could be really juicy to secure a first round bye.
Panthers
So,
will take
I mean, it's a game, but it's not a game kind of thing in my mind. I mean, obviously we lost the Bucs earlier this year. I feel like this team is completely different now. We're in a completely different stature, and I feel like we would win this game with whoever comes out of the NFC South. So I'm not really particularly worried about that. So it's either you want to
These
get
Hall of Fame quarterbacks
fifth
tend to
seed
get us.
or you want to get first seed.
Well,
Otherwise,
would
you
it
have a
be
hard
first
playoff game.
seed with
No,
those
that's
3
what I'm
leading?
getting
Yeah,
next to,
yeah.
because if they surpass Philly, they could still be second to Minnesota.
Exactly.
And it all comes down to, is Minnesota going to lose another
They're
game?
gonna lose that game.
Minnesota should lose another game,
Yeah.
but Minnesota shouldn't have beaten the Bills. I mean, football is
That's
fucking
true.
wide.
Yeah.
And
Minnesota
I-
shouldn't
I-
won on
I've looked at
Thanksgiving.
their matchups. They have games they can lose. So it gives me solace in thinking that we
They'll
should
probably
keep
lose
hunting
this
for the first seed, because if the Cowboys get the first seed, if that works out, I mean, I feel like if second seed's actually kind of bad, but if we get first seed, that is like the most ideal scenario. We have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and we got a first round fucking bye, and we just take the week off, rest up, fucking go in with the right mind. I don't know.
But okay, so you come off the
McCarthy's
you
usually
come,
good off the bye.
you come off
except
the
for
first seed.
past one.
Who's the best remaining, or who's the worst remaining team coming off that, right? So think about that. So let's say the Eagles then take the 5th spot. Who's 6 and 7?
Eagles probably beat whoever plays the South.
Giants and Commanders.
I was about to say Giants or Washington.
They're in it right now.
They're
See,
in
I think you guys
it.
are forgetting about Seattle. And do you want to play Seattle? That is the type of team that just would have the Cowboys number, because they don't worry about defense. They're all offense, right? And you guys have shown this year when a team is all offense, that's what you struggle with.
True, but I feel like our offense is starting to come out a little bit more right now. I'm not too worried about like us positionally in these games. Like we're either gonna win them or fucking lose them, and Cowboys are gonna do what the fuck Cowboys do. I think the point is to just get the best case scenario you can and fucking. What do we go out there and fucking play playoff football? Because here's the thing, like I've seen the Cowboys play playoff football. I saw the 1 out of the fucking 1 and 4 that we have with Dak, and we played Russell Wilson in the playoffs. I was at that game. That shit was.
We were
lit.
both at that game.
Exactly. That motherfucker was there too.
Okay, what team do you not want?
And you know why we won that game?
The San Francisco 49ers.
God
damn, I do not want
You
the
know
San
why we
Francisco
won that game is
49ers.
because Dak Prescott used his legs. Goddamn.
San Francisco 49ers have a
Dak uses
defense.
his legs.
They have
to
a
win.
quarterback that won't go and get fucking pick unless the defense can get a bunch of pressure, but they have an okay run game. And then they have a great run game.
They have a great
and
run
freaking
game.
Elijah Mitchell missing, that's great, because with a 3-headed monster I was getting really nervous. Debo's kind of banged up, so I'm a little less certain than I was literally 2 weeks ago, but they have been on the back of my mind since last year. I don't want to play those motherfuckers, please, no.
Alright, what do you guys think?
I think the Cowboys definitely do have a chance to pass up the Eagles. I was actually looking. I watched this thing on ESPN earlier today, and I mean the Cowboys' schedule coming up is cupcake. I mean we got Colts, we got Houston, I think we have Jacksonville after that. Like it's just cupcakes, and then we have the Eagles. And we actually are favored to win that game. We have a set like by ESPN. I think it was off Caesar's books. We have a 70% chance to win that game
Dak does not lose
against the Eagles. So there are, and when the Eagles played the Titans, like our spread was for the Cowboys is higher. Like I think Eagles are favored by like 6 or something. Cowboys are favored by like 10. So like Caesar books, like ESPN, they're all saying
you're saying you think the
Vegas is saying
NFC
Cowboys are better than Eagles.
should be as long as Eagles lose a different game.
That's the thing. Is we need if Eagles lose one more game,
to step up.
I think that we win the game at the Eagles.
It's outside the Cowboys.
And
Somebody
or
else.
that won't be at home.
No, we beat home field advantage. We got first.
No, like the Eagles game. Are we playing them at Eagles or?
Fuck, where we played the last one? This is Cooper Rush.
Was it in Philly, right?
It was in
Cooper
Philly, yeah, with
This
Cooper
is-
So
Rush.
I think this one will be at home.
Yeah, and it's Dak. Dude. Dak doesn't lose against Philly. I'm just saying. Look at the records. Dak doesn't lose against Philly.
No, if Eagles lose, like Anthony said, Tennessee's probably the best game for them to lose. And they've been playing really close games recently. So and the Titans, they're a good team. They're a solid team. They run the ball well, which has been the Eagles' actual like biggest struggle so far is stopping the run. So I think Tennessee has a good chance to win that game. If they do, Cowboys can definitely take the division, and obviously I think again he said the better spot they can be in, that's gonna be the best like position for them.
So I mean, I think it's we just keep
I
winning because
think
even
San Fran's
if,
gonna win a division.
if no one else beats the Eagles and we don't take over the division, we gotta hope that we just keep winning so we can take that 5th seed so we can get over the NFC South.
I'll get that first round bye. I think
I mean, that's the first round bye playing the NFC
the
South.
rest of our schedule, like honestly, the Eagles is the toughest game. So if we beat them, like we could win out, and if the Eagles lose one game, we could take that number 1 seed and that first round bye. McCarthy's usually a great coach off of having a bye week. I mean, we lost against Green Bay this past time, but besides that, like his record's pretty awesome. So I would definitely think number 1 seed is the way to go, as so every other coach or fan in the NFL.
And honestly, I can't agree more than what we both y'all were saying actually. I of course if we can lock in the number 1 seed, that's the best hope. Do I think we can do it? Absolutely, we win out. But it's still a what if because we are expecting Philly to lose, and I do think that they can lose. But if they are going to lose, like Soda Jock was saying over here, if they're going to lose, it has to be against Tennessee. And Tennessee is like that is their testing point right there because Philly has been playing a lot of
It's a big matchup.
It's a great matchup, but Philly's been playing a lot of fake teams in their past that either have been hurt by injuries or just not been total
You've been
teams.
saying this all year.
And so and I know
Homer.
Um,
Can we get a
But-
graphic on that one?
right. No, but I'm saying what I'm trying to say is that this is the first actual matchup that is going to test Philly's capabilities. Is Philly actually a true team that can lead the NFC East? So I think this is where they prove it. They have to win against Tennessee. If they don't win against Tennessee, then that definitely gives us a chance to go up there. So
If they win against Tennessee, then fuck.
right, no, well, yeah, exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. So this is the game. This is the game for Philly. So
Alright, so I'll tell you what, you guys aren't being irrational at all. So no homer takes here, to be honest with you. I mean, to say that really it's cupcakes both the way home, I wouldn't be surprised if both teams win every game out except Titans. Titans could be a tight one. And in reality, now either team could fuck up, but they should win each one of those games.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we'll be where we are. Now, I gotta be honest with you though, I think you guys are being a little homer on that 1 seed. And let me lay out the scenario for you here, okay? So let's say Philly gets the 1 seed, you guys take 5. 2 is obviously going to the San Francisco 49ers. 3 is going to the Minnesota Vikings, in my opinion. And then 4 is going to go to whatever trash team comes out of that division, right? So you get the trash team first. Maybe Tom Brady's on that trash team, but come on, guys. Like, you're a different team than you were week 1. So you win that one. So now the 5 seed is now going to be playing the best remaining seed, which is probably going to be Philly because Commanders and the Giants aren't going anywhere, who I think will be 6 and 7. So wouldn't you just rather take on Philly in the playoffs and prove it then? And then your best case scenario after that is hopefully the fucking Minnesota Vikings take out San Francisco, so you don't have to play them, and you guys just got a cakewalk to the fucking Super Bowl, minus having to beat your own division, which you just said, Soda. Dak doesn't lose to Philly. So really, if you're being smart, and we can get to this with the Dolphins, I'll do the same fucking scenario for you. If you're being smart, the 5th seed's your better spot, and what you want to do, beat Philly. Fuck it, beat them. But you guys should be Titans fans this week.
oh yeah, no for sure.
I'm sorry, anti-Titans fans. You want Titans to
Here's
lose.
my logic.
I fucked that up. Apologies to everyone on the podcast.
I am a Titans fan, actually.
No,
Derrick Henry?
You want the Eagles to win this week. I am telling you guys, the 5th seed is your path to the Super Bowl. The 1st seed, you're toast. You take that 1st seed,
but if
Sets us up for a big Cowboy letdown.
I mean,
these are the games that you like fucking legacies are made. If you're gonna make some Super Bowl run, I don't want it to be classified as some bitch Super Bowl run. I don't just want to be like, oh wow, you fucking remember the catch in 2014?
Whoa, hold on. You still beat Philly in the regular season. Then you beat them again in the playoffs.
That means they would win out the rest of their season. We would lose home field advantage. That's the one thing I was gonna say. I want to be able to go to one of these fucking games too. I don't care. I don't care.
Homer, alright, put it on, Homer.
Homers,
they just want to go to the fucking
Let's
game.
fucking go. We can beat them all.
Hey, easier to be less homer of a Cowboys fan on a year where they're playing well. So congratulations.
Doing
Alright.
pretty well.
Moving on, let's kind of reverse it a little bit and let's talk about the Miami Dolphins.
Have to.
They're having a pretty good year so far. You know, they got a lot of good things going for them. I have a really good question that I've been thinking about because as a football fan, you know, I'm just intrigued by every single team, and you know, I'm really impressed by what Miami's been able to do offensively,
Oh, absolutely.
especially having Jalen Waddle on my fantasy team. It's really been awesome. Really great experience. I got him in like the 5th round. You know,
Wow, you're
I always
very
appreciate it. That's why I'm
generous.
thinking before on Thanksgiving. But the concern I do have with Miami, obviously if they're with their head coach, you know, they have a great offensive mindset and you know flawless on that side. But defensively, that's the struggle for me. Is they've been struggling defensively, and I think they have the talent offensively to make a playoff run. But my question to you is, do you think that they have a good enough defense around to kind of like keep the pieces together and make a strong playoff push, like win more than one game? I think they get past first round, but deeper than that, that's why I get concerned on the defensive side, especially in the AFC with all those really high octane offenses, KC,
Yeah, I was gonna say KC.
Buffalo.
All right. So I feel you. And I'll start off with a couple of points that we're just gonna lay out real quick here. So already played Buffalo, held them 19 points. Okay. Haven't played KC yet, but you know I can see the cracks in the foundation there, and I believe in our defensive coordinator. And he's a bend but don't break kind of guy. And
Who's
that's
the coordinator?
Boyer. Josh
Okay.
Boyer.
Yeah.
So they actually kept him around from the Brian Flores days. So
That's
didn't
gotta
want to
say
change
something.
it. Yeah, it's got to say
They
something.
got rid of
right?
everybody else.
Got rid of everybody else. So it's got to say something. So, but what I will say about this team as it is on the defense, we've got some injuries, right? I want to point out Byron Jones hasn't played it down.
He still hasn't
Yeah.
come back. I thought he came back.
Hasn't played
They got
us
the talent. It's just
down.
injury report.
And then you got Brandon Jones is out for the season. Nick Needham out for the season. We've got some tough spots there. But what you guys don't understand is Josh Boyer, this staff, they're bringing in these guys. The one of two only Ivory Coast players to ever join the NFL, Cater could do, or as Darth Cater as we call him. He is a lockdown corner. He's been playing great. Actually got nominated to be voted on for the Pro Bowl. Now, you don't get to vote for everybody in the Pro Bowl. Now, he's not going to make the Pro Bowl. Let's not be ridiculous here. But got nominated. Xavier Howard's still a lockdown corner. And look, I was in the middle of the ocean, and I only got ESPN Caribbean, which only plays, what do you call it? What's the one with the paddle and the shit? The cricket? Cricket?
Is it cricket?
So I'm watching cricket, but on the bottom, up came Bradley Chubb, traded to the Miami Dolphins for a pick and the worst running back in the fucking world, Chase Edmonds. Had the most drops in the NFL without even being targeted that much. What a piece of shit Chase Edmonds was. So, thank you, the Broncos, for taking our worst running back and giving one of the best pass rushers in the league.
Open the door for Jeff Wilson. too.
And Jeff Wilson, what an ad. Honestly, I mean, we're not talking about the
Yeah,
offense,
you're solid.
but solid ad. I mean, Jeff Wilson and Mostert looking like a two-headed monster.
Yeah.
Basically, the two people that Mike McDaniel built his offense around in San Francisco. Don't know how he wound up with both of them, but good for him.
I know.
Right?
I like what he did.
So, but
I'll
what,
take that.
yeah, exactly. So what I will tell you though is this defense has the pieces, but they have the scheme is the more important part. And in all honesty, when they need to step up, and this is something we need to look at because I put a point out here. This is going to sound like it's going off track, but Justin Fields has been given the ball, minus last week because he didn't play, in his last 4 games, down less than a possession, never scored a touchdown. That's flash, not substance. Okay? The Dolphins have given up insane amounts of yards and touchdowns to the Lions, to the Bears, to the garbage teams. But when we ask that defense to make a stop at the end of the game, even if you want to go all the way fucking back to the Baltimore Ravens, They made stops when they needed to make stops to get that offense the ball back, to go back down the field. And that is what the Chiefs offense used to do for defense used to do for Patrick Mahomes. They said, look, all right, you gave us one possession to stop him and get you the ball back. We can do that. Yeah, I know we gave up 45 points. And yeah, I know it's 42 to 45. But you need one more possession, we got you, Pat. And Tua can do anything, baby.
Last little piece that I want to touch upon here. I'm very curious how you feel about this. I'm kind of with you. I believe that defense can be a little bit bend, don't break, Ron Marinelli style on that defense. I think this offense is super high powered. I think the way they win football games is they don't give a fuck if they let them 45 points. They score 50. You know, like this is an offense that's really high powered. I think they can get in shootouts with almost any team in the league, which brings me to this question. Will they surpass Kansas City? Are they better than Kansas City?
Okay.
Kansas City, before you answer though, I heard a stat on the way here. I was listening to 105 fan. This Kansas City team, statistically, right now at this point in the season, is doing better than the Super Bowl run where they won. And the fact that the last 4 years, they're doing better right now than they've done in the last 4 years.
Okay, so can they surpass them in the regular season to be the 1 seed is what you're asking me? Or surpass them at any point during the playoffs?
Go ahead and take both.
Okay, so during the regular season, if you guys can look in the same way you looked at the cakewalk that is the Cowboys and the Eagles, I don't even see a single loss left on Kansas City's roster. I mean, if you're talking cakewalk, Kansas City, well, how many games do we have now? 16 or 17?
17, yeah.
Yeah, they're going 15 to 2. I mean, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. I promise you. It's all wins. And so that's fine. The Dolphins will take the 2nd seed. That's where I want them to stay. And I said I'd bring this up, where the Dolphins belong there because you know where the 2nd seed puts Buffalo? The 5th seed.
True.
Which, when 6 and 7 lose, puts Buffalo and Kansas City in the not AFC Championship game, the previous AFC. We got a rematch, the same shit that went down before.
But
So-
KC, I mean, I feel like KC owns Buffalo. I mean, as good as Buffalo is, I feel like KC owns Buffalo a little bit when it comes down to it.
Fine with me.
I don't know. I think they had a good
I
chance
think
to
that
win
championship
that.
game comes down to Dolphins.
But
KC.
here's
If the overtime rules have been changed at the
that's
end of this
fine.
year,
Championship game, Dolphins, KC. Now here's what I have to say to you guys. Can you tell me who is leading the league in DOVA, which is a stat that we keep for the passing accuracy and efficiency of a quarterback? Who is leading that? It's a very easy answer because I'm
Well,
listening.
well,
You're gonna say Tua.
Yes, it's Tua.
But
Now,
also-
the better question is, his DOV is 53%. Who is 2nd in the league? The answer is obviously.
Patrick Mahomes.
And what is his DOV? I'll give you guys 3 guesses. DOVA, sorry.
45.
48%.
So it goes as low as 40.
25 and a half. It is nearly half. The only other quarterbacks in a history of the NFL to have over a 50% DOVA in a season is Tom Brady in 2008 in his undefeated season that he lost the Super Bowl, and Peyton Manning in 2015. I am telling you, you guys can call him Noodle Arm all you want. You can rip him apart.
he's undefeated.
The
when he's
man
playing
is
this game.
undefeated when he plays a game. He is ripping the league apart, and he's got 19 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He's got almost 4,000 yards. He is a monster, and he's got 2 of the best wide receivers. That's not an opinion. That's fact. 2
Yeah,
of the
definitely.
top 4 wide receivers in the fucking league.
2 of the
on
top
his team.
4.
No. He has 2 of the top 4
You're talking
wide
based off
receivers.
receiving yards?
Yeah, receiving yards, catches, yak, everything. You look at him, there is not a single stat you can take Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill out of when you talk about receiving that don't put him in the top 4.
Helps when you don't run the ball.
But Jeff Wilson's been a monster.
When you need them, yeah.
I mean,
Alright. Let's summarize this because we gotta move on to game picks.
yeah. Apologies. I went off.
In conclusion, I would say that's a helpful take. I don't think it's homerish at all.
Use a lot of facts.
Just because, you made a lot of great points. Also, to make a deep run in the AFC, the Bills and Kansas City's defense haven't been spectacular either. So, it's basically a bunch of high-powered offenses out there. So, yes, I think they do have a chance to make a deep run.
True.
Alright, moving on to our game picks. Alex, take us off.
All right. Let me pull them up here. Okay. So, we're in 0-0 early in the Buffalo.
My boy Bass.
Was it 3-0? Bass just hit one. All right. So Buffalo up 3-0. We're early in the first here. So we got -4 was the game opened at for Buffalo. I like the Patriots to keep this one close. They always do with Buffalo. Buffalo's got kind of a thorn in their side, so I'm gonna take +4 for the Patriots here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing there.
Yeah.
I'm taking +4 for New England.
I'll take Mac Jones to make some mistakes and Buffalo cover.
Oh.
If it's only +4, same. I think they can win this game by a touchdown. I think the Bills right now are just doing this thing mid-season where they, I don't know, I guess they're hyping up the playoffs, but letting you know they can lose. I don't know.
Hey, we're not that great, but we'll still cover 4.
I think this team is still.
Oh wait, they'll cover 4, but it's not a cover.
It's not a cover.
Not everybody believes in the cover 4.
All right, so let's move on to the Sunday games. We'll just hit this one real quick. What a garbage game. +8.5, Denver at Baltimore. I'm just done with Denver, so just give me 8.5.
So is their defense.
Yeah. Look, I don't even know what's going on.
This guy.
Until Hackett's fired, I'm never picking Denver to cover.
I really want to blame it on the coach because I really thought Russell Wilson was better than this.
He has to be, and we're gonna have to find out. Look, the coach is gonna be gone. We all know that. So we're gonna have to
You can't
find
give it all
out.
out for Russell for him to be this bad.
It'll be hard to do worse. So I'll put it like that.
Yeah, give me Baltimore 8.5. I know that's so many points on what a Russell Wilson team, but fuck it, 8.5. The defense gave up. Yeah. Guys.
I hate this game so much. I'm not gonna take Baltimore to cover the spread because Baltimore has been scoring no points lately.
Yeah.
Got Lamar Jackson, our fantasy quarterback, and the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, he just hasn't been able to do anything because this offense is so terrible. They got no weapons. They're filtering out running backs left and right.
Wide receiver one's like DeMarcus.
Wide receiver one's
now.
like their backup tight end, which I don't even know who it was before they.
Are you overreacting to the loss of the Jacksonville Jags? That's what he's doing, right? He's about to pick.
No,
he's about to pick Denver.
I'm not picking Denver to win because Denver can't score.
No,
points, so
but
they can't
8.5.
Bro, they have not been
You
scoring
want
points.
I'm taking Baltimore 8.5. Are you
Baltimore's
taking Denver?
barely been able to score 8.5 points the past couple weeks. I'm gonna take Baltimore to win, but not cover the spread.
I don't give a shit. I am married to a Denver Broncos fan. I promise you, Denver is worse.
They are worse, but both offenses are bad. It's gonna be a low scoring game. I'll take Baltimore to cover this.
No, Denver to cover this.
I'll take Denver to cover the spread.
8.5.
Baltimore win. It'd be like 6-3 or some shit.
All right, what do you got?
Baltimore's gonna cover. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't believe we don't have cover 4 on that. You're an idiot. I'll take a shot if I'm wrong. I'm not gonna up it to 4 like River.
No, I will take a
You
shot.
take a shot. You will take a shot,
Everybody-
or do you not believe?
I mean, I definitely think it's possible that it's a low scoring game.
Yeah, are we all-
I'm still gonna pick Baltimore, but I definitely.
Right? No, but
Are we taking a shot?
you're not gonna take. But you got to take a shot, and Baltimore loses. All right, let's go.
If Baltimore wins
Cover
by
this,
8.5, right?
If Baltimore
Are you-
covers 8.5,
I'll take
you take a shot. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Cool. All right, we got that one agreed. Okay. So then next one, this is the big one, Tennessee Philly. We got Philly at home, -4.5. Guys, I'll be honest with you, I think it's bad for you, but I am going to take Philly -4.5 because I really don't want Tennessee to win this. It's not good for the AFC, and I prefer the AFC to all crumble under the power of the Dolphins.
This game's weird. It's really weird. I think both.
This one's a hard pick. I want to be clear, hard pick.
I think this is gonna be a hard pick for all of us in different directions, but
Yeah.
I mean, this game is just weird. I think it's a hard pick to pick in general to determine whether or not it's like Tennessee or Philly, because both their seasons are so weird right now. Like you have this 9-1 Philly team, they lost the fucking Commanders, bro, and they had like a tough time against the Texans, and you have like an inch off Dallas Goedert, you have this Tennessee Titans team
Oh, I
that,
forgot Dallas Goedert.
they've been competitive in games against good teams. They've lost games. They've also lost games to like trash teams. They've been all over the place, but. I mean, they're right there in the race as well. I mean, you're going head to head against Philly. It's a big game, and I'm gonna have to, make my heart pick. Please, Tennessee, do this for the boys.
The boys.
The boys.
Alright. We got Tennessee. We got 4.5.
I'm taking Philly to cover because AJ Brown's a bad motherfucker, and he used to play for Tennessee, and they traded him for one first-round pick,
Philly
which
to
is
win.
ridiculous.
Cover.
They're gonna win and cover. AJ Brown's gonna get like 2 touchdowns.
You know,
I can't believe Tennessee gave him up for one first-round pick. We're just spent on Taylor
Did you
Burks.
see that Philly had like 389 rushing yards against like the Packers or something like that?
Mhm.
It was
They're not
like
gonna have that
almost
rushing
400. Like Jalen Hurts had 100 in the first.
Yeah, that was insane.
He was going crazy.
They won't
They
do
won't
that. They won't do that against Tennessee. But I agree with you.
He almost broke
AJ
the
Brown's
record.
a bad motherfucker.
He is.
I was so mad. He was on my fantasy team, and they didn't even use him because they're like, we'll just run all fucking day. Like, who cares?
Yeah, Tennessee's really good at stopping the run, so they're gonna be passing the ball a lot. AJ Brown, he's a beast, and he plays with some anger. I think he's gonna come out furious. That Tennessee traded him for one first-round pick. Are you kidding me?
To be
Why
fair,
didn't Cowboys give that up?
that
Why would they
first
give him a
round pick
first-round
is
pick?
now healthy and playing pretty good. His name is Traylon Burks, man.
Yeah,
Is he playing like AJ Brown?
No, he recovers fumbles
He's been hurt.
really well in the end zone.
Yeah,
Anyways,
he chases Derrick Henry on the field really well.
So,
If you listen to they like mic'd him up or whatever after the game. They mic'd up the Tennessee coach, and he asked him like, "Why were you trying that play?" He's like, "Because I was blocking that DB downfield, and then he got off of me, and he's the one that stripped Derrick Henry. So he was chasing him. He's like, well,
because he missed a block.
yeah, because he missed the block. But the coach was like, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes. At least you had great hustle made up for it.
Derrick Henry's still a bad motherfucker, bro. Derrick Henry's the
Yeah.
bad
Of course he
motherfucker.
is.
Like, it's not AJ Brown versus
All-
Traylon Burks.
all-
It's
all
AJ Brown.
break-
All things
I'll
aside,
break-
who you got?
Give me Tennessee money line. Call me a homer.
Homer. Put it on his
But-
face.
I'm being very hopeful, and I'm just praying that
I can't see
Tennessee.
that.
So we got Tennessee spread. We got the spread
No,
for the
Tennessee to
Eagles.
win. I want
So
to
he's-
win.
he's-
Oh,
Tennessee
we
money
got money
lines.
lines here. We got money
Money
lines.
lines.
Okay. So then we got money lines.
I think
Alright.
Tennessee is better than the Commanders. The Commanders got it done. That's all I'm saying.
Alright, fair enough. All right. Let's
fair.
move
That's all I'm
on. Let's move on to the NFC East here. The Washington Commanders at the New York Giants.
Ooh.
So the Commanders are actually the favorite at -2.5, even though they're on the road. I am fully ready to continue with the Taylor Heinicke's. Give me the spread there. And honestly, I know that the Lions appear to be better than we all thought. Blah 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 blah.
They compete.
What just happened?
One, by the way, guys, the Patriots just scored there, so
Interception.
that's gonna help cover the spread.
That is.
He's a backup running back.
Anyways.
Harris is up.
That helps your fantasy team, Jacoby Myers owners. Just kidding.
But what I'm saying here is I think that the Commanders are on the rise. I think the Giants are finally being found as fraudulent, and on a team that really didn't have very many good players, the injuries are stacking up,
Yeah.
and that's a tragedy.
Losing Rondo Robinson was a big one. Personally, if you ask me, that was a great player to fucking lose. You're not even playing Kenny Galladay right now. They got Richie James, who's questionable. The Giants had a little something, but they just falling off right now due to injuries and just some inconsistent plays.
Look, no joke, they have a coach, but
They
got no players.
They got a coach.
Respect, but yeah. So you got Commanders.
I got Commanders.
Commanders.
I got the Commanders. You got Payne and Allen in the middle.
Yeah.
And the best thing Giants do is run the ball, and they're not going to
Isn't Chase Young coming back this season?
And Sweat.
At
And
some
Chase
point-
Young is coming back soon. But I think I just want to talk about it real quick. I think it's hilarious how whenever the Cowboys were playing Washington last year, right, where Allen and Payne got in that fight, they like hit each other. Like on the sideline, you know what I'm talking about?
And now
Like,
they're,
well,
now they're,
slap each other in the
now
face.
they're teammates.
Well, like they've been teammates, but like the Cowboys were whooping their ass so bad the second time we played them.
Yeah,
Michael Parsons had that like strap stick or
Strip sack.
strip sack.
Strap
Something like that.
He strapped it up.
But anyways,
he strapped the ball right on up and brought it into the end zone.
Yeah, they were so mad at like they started like slapping each other in the face, got in a scuffle on the sideline, and then I was listening to sounds from the sideline this past week, and they're like, "I love you, man," blah blah, like best buds and all that. I was like, man, winning changes a lot of things, cause when you get your ass kicked every week, you know, even brothers be at each other's throats.
I also think you credit to Taylor Heineke's doing definitely what fucking goddamn Wentz never could.
Look,
No.
all this proves is the
Winning changes.
the idiocy or whatever word you want to create that isn't a real word because
Idiocracy.
you're not allowed to use real words when you talk about Daniel Snyder. He's a moron. I'm telling you, this guy has no idea what he's doing, and to bring in Carson Wentz. And to bring in Carson Wentz when Taylor Heinicke took over that team, it looked good. And even Ron Rivera, he played it so delicate. But even as Wentz got hurt, he was like, "Oh, we're happy with Taylor Heinicke, and we don't really like Carson Wentz." But he played it delicately. But Taylor Heinicke should have always been the guy.
They asked him directly, "What is the problem with this team? Why you're not winning as many games as the other league? Like every other team?"
Carson
Like,
Wentz.
the quarterback.
Ron Rivera. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He played it delicately, but he just but he only dropped those seeds right as Wentz got hurt, and then and it's clear now. I mean, and the team's not a bad team, but Carson Wentz is.
No, the defensive line is loaded. Which is
Anyways,
why
we
I
got
took
one
them.
more to go. Are we getting a cover 4?
It's gonna be a cover.
Alright, so we got a cover 4 on the Commanders. Okay, so let's move on to the Jets.
Yeah, that would happen.
The Jets on the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings at home. Vikings -3 against the Jets. I'm assuming Mike White in charge. So obviously we got Sauce Man over here with the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets as well because Jets defense is way too good for Kirk Cousins.
Vikings been fake all season. I'm saying
Unless Zach Wilson plays, but if it's Mike White, then the Jets for sure.
Give me the Jets. Actually, I think Minnesota has not been performing.
Give me the money line.
It's all been luck. It's all been luck.
It is not a cover 4. It is not a cover 4. I will tell you guys right here, if the Vikings were fraudulent, we would have found out against the Patriots, and we did not. So, give me the Vikings. The Jets are in turmoil. It shouldn't be
You know what
there.
happened last
I don't know though. I don't know. Bam looked good. Bam looked good.
I know White looked good. I'm just telling you in general. I'm not buying this one. I'm out. Give me the Vikings -3. Seems like a generous line in this scenario. So let's just roll with it.
Vikings.
How
talent
confident are you
forward.
in that?
I am 2 shots confident. 2 shots. Vikings -3.
I'll do 4 shots.
I'll tell you what. If you guys want to agree to a 2 shot, we already have a 1 shot going. So, but that's against you. So I would be a 2 shot guy. Is anyone willing to pick up that action
I'll take 2 shots.
for the Jets?
Yeah, I'll bet on the
Are
Jets.
you
I'll
willing
be
to
the
take
other one.
2 shots for the Jets, Dawson?
Yes, I will. I think the Vikings pretenders. Jets defense is pretty good. Mike White showed some shit. Greg fucking Wilson is a goddamn fucking G.
I'll put 2 on it.
Oh shit.
Dawson doesn't want it.
Well,
Jets.
it would only make sense if I'm going to make a pick about a team, then I better feel confident about it. So I'm gonna take that 2.
Yes! All right. We'll see you next week where these guys take 6
Hopefully I don't
shots.
lose both of them. Alright, no more bets.
All right.
I'm a little worried.
Okay, so next one, we'll call it the semi-garbage bowl. So the Jacksonville Jaguars and Detroit Lions. Obviously, Jaguars.
4-7.
Yeah, I say the Jaguars on the come up or whatever, maybe. But the Lions have showed me a lot more, even in the losses they've had lately. So I will take the Lions. Yes, go Colorado. Sorry, I'm also watching a hockey game. My apologies, boys. But yeah, I will take Detroit -1. I mean, it's basically a pick. It's a pick. So,
Yeah, it's a pick 'em.
yeah. So I'll take Detroit.
Jaguars on a good day
Who did
are a
this
better
beat?
team, I feel like. I mean, the Jaguars also just had
Ravens.
trouble. Jaguars just had trouble with Travis Etienne this past week. They say the injuries minor, he's looking fine, should play. I think with a good running game, good passing game, Jaguars should be better.
So Jaguars, Lions,
I think I'm taking Jags on this. I think their passing offense.
way overreaction to the Baltimore Ravens. Next.
I like the Lions this week. I think they're
Thank
going to win
you.
another one.
There's a sensible man.
Yeah, to pick the Lions.
I mean, I don't think I'd ever say that, but I just don't like Jacksonville. I don't like Jacksonville at all.
I don't like either team, but
But I think
Okay.
it's
All right, so we got a lot more games to go through.
Yeah,
so
this
we're gonna rip through these real
Rip
quick. So Deshaun Watson returned to Houston.
Deshaun
It's a-
Watson owns Houston.
Yeah, and it is a -7 for Cleveland. I know Cleveland's gonna win, but give me the 7 because just Houston garbage. And Deshaun Watson's got a lot to prove, and I don't think being a Predator really affects him. So
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a predator on that field. That's for sure.
He's going to be looking
All right.
for
that's a lot of people.
-7 for, and you got
I'm taking
-7.
the cover, yeah.
I'm taking Cleveland for sure.
to cover.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's another cover 4.
That's a Predator 4.
Not 24.
Let's go get a massage it.
Okay. All right.
Who wins?
Garbage.
I'm not affiliated with this program.
Garbage Bowl number 2, Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Atlanta at home, but they are not the favorites. Pittsburgh is actually favored. I don't get this at all. It's got to be a Vegas fuck. I don't get it. I really don't. So give me Pittsburgh. Why is Pittsburgh favored? No idea. But I don't fuck with
The
Vegas.
Bull has the same amount of losses.
Don't care. Don't care. Atlanta's the better team. Give me Pittsburgh.
Come on,
Bruce
Pitt.
Mariota is trash.
Hey,
Like
TJ
playing
Watt
like a
back.
bad defense, and they got one of the best linebackers in all football back on the field now. I think that makes a difference. Steelers defense has been playing better, and I've been seeing it on the field. Their offense is good enough to beat this team hands down. I think the Falcons lose this one. It's Carolina taking that division. You heard it.
All right. So Pitt.
Pitt. Mike Tomlin had losing seasons.
That's a cover
That
4.
means
Wow! A cover
Yeah,
4 garbage bowl.
We need one more cover 4.
Oh,
We need one more cover 4.
all right. Well, I think this is where we get it. I hope.
Oh god.
But man, I don't know. Green Bay at Chicago. I don't even know.
Is Justin Fields playing?
I don't know. That's
Anyone know if Justin Fields
It's
playing?
it's un.
Is Justin
unknown at this
Fields
point.
playing?
This one I can't pick without his This one I can't
No,
pick without his
it's questionable. He's
I
questionable.
feel like he's not gonna play. I mean,
It seems
it's
like
not
it's gonna be a Trevor Siemian. I got a best friend who is a Bears fan. He does not seem confident that Justin Fields will touch the field. So
Bears QB Justin Fields shoulder full participant in today's practice.
I don't care. Give me the Packers either way. -3.5.
Yeah, Rodgers owns the Bears.
He
Owns
owns
the
the
Bears.
Bears, but you know what? If there's a season where he goes and gets embarrassed, it's this one. Give me the Bears. Sorry.
No,
Wow.
Love got playing time last week. He's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I
fuck
got,
no.
I got Green Bay. I got Green Bay on this one.
Green Bay
Yeah,
should win
that's
this one.
stupid. That's stupid.
No, it's
We'll see.
That's
Green Bay should win this one, but they won't. They're bad.
This feels like that time that we really ragged on you for picking the Bears and that.
They're a bad team, man. Justin Fields is a different kind of
Oh no! All right, we
I mean,
got
he hasn't used his
Miami
ball
and
twice.
San Francisco.
Ooh, that's a tough matchup. That's tough.
-4 is the spread. San Francisco at home.
Oh,
Who's favored? Mine?
Am I no?
Daniel
San-
just play for or is coach for San Fran?
This is a personal game.
Ooh.
Jeff Wilson revenge game. Like, this is everything you think. So
It
many
might be
people.
Daniel
Each of these
revenge
teams,
game.
each of these teams are
This is
fighting for their spot at
This
the
is
top
tough.
of the fucking conference.
Top of the conference.
This is like the best game of the week.
This is the game of
This
the week.
is game of the week.
Yeah.
Game of the fucking week.
Look, I'll jump out here early and just say, oh god, I can't say that loud. I don't want to talk. You guys go.
San Fran favored by 4 though.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Just lost Elijah Mitchell. Debo Samuel is hurt, has been dealing with an injury, and it keeps nagging him every game. Even though they say he's good to play every game, he goes in there and he's been taken out. Because
Yeah,
of his
he's
injury.
missed
It's a
missed
nagging
plays
injury.
because he just can't be safe.
He's barely played plays because of that. So, it's a tough one.
You know what? Fuck it. Give me the Dolphins +4. I would say money line usually. I think they're probably gonna lose by 3 points because for some reason the Shanahan tree just can't beat Shanahan. Even McVay. McVay only has 1 win. I mean, it was in a very important time in the NFC Championship game. Ugh. I feel gross.
I think,
Go Dolphins.
I think the Miami Dolphins actually win this one, personally.
Thanks, bud.
think the defense is really good, but that offense is way better. Terry Hill's running
So you taking the money line or +4?
Take me +4.
All right, guys.
Aaron, you want to go ahead?
I'm taking the Dolphins money line. I think they're covering.
When did people get
No
more
way.
confident in my own team than I did? This is weird.
It's the offense.
Yeah.
Terry Hill.
But isn't that Shanahan's offense?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you know, so this is such a
Pretty
tough
good game.
matchup. This is such a tough matchup. It really is. I mean, honestly, one might even say a Super Bowl matchup in a way.
It could be.
And so, I mean, that's what I predicted. I predicted the Super Bowl to be Miami and San Fran.
One little thing about
And I mean, so San Fran is a great team, great defense. CMC has been adding a lot to that team. But I'm going to take Miami money line here. I'm taking Miami money line. I
So-
think that they have a lot to prove here.
So
And
I will add to that. So money line, Dolphins. Also, we're gonna call that cover 4. Cover 4.
we might as well do 4 cover 4s on Miami.
But here's what I am gonna say about this, and I didn't say it, but the Sharps love San Francisco. They have held this line to 4. The money has been overwhelmingly from the public pouring in on Miami, and we have some of the smartest bettors in the world that have been dumping almost millions into San Francisco to keep this at 4. It opened at 3, it's moved to 4, but I'm telling you, without the Sharps, we would be at like almost, we'd be almost Miami favorite this time. It is tough.
I think with Mike McDaniel's, the experience he had with
I always
Shanahan,
vote
I think
for half.
he knows a lot of his.
I
tricks up his
love
sleeve,
it.
a lot of secrets.
I love you guys' confidence.
that
I'm
next
just
time.
telling you, this is one of those ones. This feels like that Thursday night game against the Bengals. Something happened. The time travelers, they know, so it's gonna hurt.
I always vote on behalf of revenge games for players, and this is a Jeff Wilson revenge game written all over, if you ask me.
But the guys, I can't wait for us.
About
all
the
to
head
be
coach revenge.
I understand that aspect of it all.
That's
but
way more important than backup
For me,
running
it's
back.
always about players, dude. It's always about players. Because look at that Mike McCarthy matchup, there was no players revenge game. That's all I'm saying.
All right, for this next
They should have
one.
revenge against Green
This
Bay.
next one, I'm not giving a spread.
That
I'm
was
only
tough.
allowing a money line pick from everybody. No spread for Seattle and the Rams. Money line
Seattle.
picks only.
Are you kidding me, Rams?
Seattle.
Can
Is
Walker
Stafford
was
even
great.
gonna play?
No.
Look,
Is
this
Stafford even
no,
playing?
listen to me.
Gloves on for the
Listen
season?
to me.
Robinson's out for the season?
Don't care. You guys gotta understand, this is just where things happen in the NFL. The Rams have been terrible. I don't care who plays. Perkins, whatever, Walford,
I
whatever.
don't care who plays the game.
I am telling you, I will take a shot if I'm wrong.
Whatever they're selling.
We're adding another shot to it. This is money line, no spread. I'm just telling you, this is where the Seahawks fall apart.
Whatever they're selling in Barcelona, I want to give me some of that shit because that is
You
that
think
is fucking.
Bro, no quarterback, no receiver.
Hey,
running back.
Seattle's looking good. They got Kenneth Walker. They got their defense playing at a high level. Gino's making dime throws.
Just lost to the fucking Raiders.
That is fair, but
Yeah, the
Okay.
Raiders like, had to get a second one eventually.
This one to me is ridiculous, and the only time that I bet against a ridiculous spread in when Vegas seems to know something and I bet against them is when Kansas City's involved. So Kansas City at the Bengals -2. Give me KC.
KC, Jamar Chase makes some action. This is a close game. It's a high scoring game. KC finds a way to win all these things.
I'm taking the Bengals at home. I think they're gonna scratch and claw and give themselves a dub. They got Jamar Chase coming back.
Jamar Chase is a
Their
huge
offense has been heating up.
damn, they scored again.
Joe Burrow has been
It's highlights, but
Joe Burrow has been playing really well as of late, and he's getting his best receiver back. I'm not sure if Joe Mixon's gonna play or not, but I like the Bengals at home. It needs to be a close game. It's to be a good game. I'm not saying that Bengals are the better team, but I think they get this one.
Stephon Diggs just scored a touchdown in the Buffalo Bills game, guys.
that.
All right, so what do you got here? So we got
And
Chiefs and Bengals.
And you know, we already know this is going to be one of the highest scoring games this week. Honestly, I think
Over under 53.
I say an over.
Over 53?
Over 53.
What do you say?
I'm saying over 53 for sure.
Everybody
I'm saying
it's gonna be a high scoring
I'm
game.
saying 65 plus score this game.
Yeah, I gotta be on that too. Over.
It's like 26, 27 pop. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like easy
I think
over
it'll be
here.
the
30, 27
I think
Eagles.
30s in the
And
range.
even with this high scoring game, even with it, I'm going to take Cincinnati money line. Cincinnati money line.
Wow.
I think this is a falling apart for KC.
Guys,
I think they come
I hope you're
short.
right.
It's going to be a close scoring game. It's going to be some ridiculous play that wins it, and it's going to be Jamar
I know
Chase.
they're not because they don't realize the ramifications of them being
Joe
right.
Burrow's
But
gonna show up
the
in
Miami
Jamar
Dolphins
Chase
are
jersey.
first in the
Jamar
AFC.
Chase will get
They
3
can all
touchdowns.
show up and still lose. Casey's pretty fucking
Joe
good.
Mixon's probably
That's all I'm
not
saying.
playing this
Casey's
week.
pretty fucking good.
Is Juju better than Jamar?
Dude, maybe Juju, Kadarius, Tony, freaking all the 8
Any
wide
of those
receivers.
people
Is Travis
better than
Kelce better than all of them? Yes.
Jamar, T. Higgins.
Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce over
Tyler
any of those
Boyd.
folks. Travis Kelce over Jamar Chase. Travis Kelce over all of them.
That's the only reason I'm winning my fantasy.
Travis Kelce over literally all of them.
Travis
Yeah.
Kelce.
Travis Kelce's gonna ball out.
Alright,
I got my
I'm
face.
not saying he's not the ball.
Aaron's like,
But he's only gonna get 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase getting 3.
Hey, he's had 5 this year.
Dude,
Travis
Kelce
Kelce
had
had
one
5 in
game.
one
It's
game.
Vegas, right?
he is fucking eating. I would not see it being a
Alright, so this is the last of the afternoon slate games, and we got one of the most confusing lines I've ever read out loud because this is the first time I've looked at it. And I gotta be honest with you, when the lines are confusing, I always go with Vegas. And in this case, I'm going with Vegas because Las Vegas is favored by 1 against the Chargers.
What?
And we all had the same face. What the fuck? So Vegas knows about Vegas. So Vegas.
Vegas.
And God, fuck the Raiders. But here I am.
Vegas is gonna do everything in their power to rig this, but this is just a game you can't rig when you're that bad and you're that decent. Alright, give me the Chargers. I'm just saying.
I guess
Take the Chargers. Who was that? Oh, safety.
maybe. I don't know. There's a flag. Anyways, Raiders or
I'm
Chargers?
definitely not taking the Raiders over
Give me
the
the
Chargers.
I don't care what Vegas says.
Give me
Keenan
Chargers.
Allen's back too. He had freaking what was it?
Herbert's been trying to win games without any receivers, and now he's got both of them.
Exactly.
But
Semi-
you're also saying -1, which a -1 is a
It's a pickup.
It's a pickup,
It's a
basically.
pickup, yeah. So who's winning?
Chargers. Chargers, absolutely.
Guys, I just.
Give me the money line.
You got faith in the
I
Raiders?
apologize that I have to listen to Vegas.
You picked the Raiders to win,
But if
I haven't picked the
if
Raiders
Vegas
all
wins-
year. I
hey,
hate the Raiders.
But if Vegas wins, if they win, then you know what? Vegas knows everything. Vegas knows everything.
Fair enough. Okay. Next one, Cowboys -10.5 at home
Dumb.
against Indy.
Dumb.
the Cowboys defense will score more than 10.5 points.
Cowboys off.
Cowboys defense.
The Colts cannot block anybody that save their lives. They're playing against the best pass rush team in the league. Like,
And Matty Ice.
Matt Ryan's gonna retire after this game. He's gonna hate his life so much. Like, I watched last week's game. He had to put every single ounce of effort that he could into throwing a 27-yard post route. And he only threw it 25 yards. The receiver had to come back to get it. He couldn't throw it 30 yards. He's over. He's done. He can't throw. The offensive line can't block. They better hope that they just hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor every single.
It
Every
could
single
be the fourth quarter, and you
Yeah,
could be
that's
up
still-
by 37 points. Mike Parsons could be hurt. He's gonna go out there on one leg and fucking pass rush Nick Mullins, bro. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Mike Parsons is getting the quarterback this week.
Cowboys
I
are gonna
know he's
sack
not
for like
gonna
every
win one
3
bad
times they
week.
try to pass.
So Cowboys +10.5 or
Cowboys
-10.5.
plus, yeah.
10.5. What do you got?
Give me the spread here. Cowboys all the way. They're gonna destroy Indy.
Yeah, guys, I like Jeff Saturday, so he'll cover the spread. So give me Indy. Sorry, no, give me Indy. I like Jeff Saturday. I think he's a good coach. Look, I think
I
he's
think
got.
he was a great
Look,
center.
I think he's got a garbage team that was handed to him. I think
You think his
that's
garbage team
true.
can cover the spread?
You
Yeah, I
think
do.
his garbage team
I just think in general, I don't think they're gonna win. I just
No,
think they'll
cover the
hang
spread.
around. Yeah, give me the spread. Mine is +10.5. That's a lot of points for a
If we
team.
don't cover this, I'll be disappointed.
Indy's got a good defense. Matt Ryan finds a way, and Jeff Saturday's smart. I think he's gonna find himself a head coaching job after the end of this year. I don't know how that's possible. He came from what even was his role before he became head coach?
He was a news
Like-
anchor.
But wasn't he like a center?
He was an
He
NFL.
was a center for the Colts.
Yeah.
But
He was an NFL analyst.
he was like
He
an
was an
NFL
analyst.
analyst.
He was
He
an
literally
NFL analyst.
has never coached before, and they hired him like sight unseen. That's insane.
I think he did coach a high school team.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't. Like, I think there's
No, I think he coached like a something.
maybe he's like an offensive coordinator, but like, yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, honestly, like, I like him. I like the guy. So
I like him too.
no,
I don't think he's that fucking good though.
yeah, I mean,
Their offensive line is just
I
so
didn't say
bad.
he
I don't think he's
beat
gonna.
them.
I don't think he's gonna do well against the Cowboys. I don't think. he's
well,
gonna
dude, I
have
didn't,
a-
you know, like
Cowboys have one of the Cowboys have the best defense in the league. If you ask
yeah,
me
but they
right
let
now.
up backdoor covers.
Or tell me why the Mavs lose.
Remember Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I remember.
Brett Maher goes wide left, and Daniel Jones comes down and covers that fucking spread.
I'm just saying, man.
I would know. I had money on it. Anyways, New Orleans and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored at home by -3.5. God, I don't care.
New Orleans.
Tampa Bay, they're rolling.
New Orleans.
They're rolling. They just lost to the Browns.
Yeah, they did. They did. Them rolling was they finally got a running back that ran for yards.
This
Like,
is a start. This is a start.
The start of what? The
they
devil.
didn't even lose to the Deshaun Watson Browns. They lost to Jacoby
I
Brissett
think
Browns.
I not only think, but I want
This is
I want New
fourth
Orleans to
game.
win this one.
If New Orleans win this one, I think they come like they almost tie for first place. or
Yeah.
something.
Jacoby Brissett after he beat.
Fuck it, you're right. Give me New
New
Orleans money line.
North
Give me New Orleans money
North
line.
Carolina.
Yeah, give me New Orleans
After
money
he beat the
line.
Bucks, he goes.
I
And I
want.
mean this is no disrespect, but to quote Tom Brady, that was fucking awesome.
I want this division to continue to be the shit hole of the NFL.
Yeah, that's
And
why I said to win.
And I hiccuped with that. So yeah, Saints,
Bucks.
bitch. All right, well, that's our picks for the week. So
That was
I mean,
Monday.
huh?
That was Monday.
That was Monday game.
Oh, nice.
So that's
Definitely
everything.
Tom Brady. then.
That's nice.
Oh, yeah, Tom Brady prime time is the
Right,
same
Andy
guy. Well, I mean,
Is he?
I gotta tell you though, that catch Njoku made in the back of the end zone on 4th and 10. Like that is like that's the way that other quarterbacks lose, not the way Tom Brady loses. And it's so nice to see it finally happening to Tom Brady, where
This week it'll be Juwan Johnson.
where you lose on plays that happen once in a lifetime. That never used to happen to
Just
Tom
like
Brady.
how
That
it
would only happen to other teams, but it's nice to see it happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so this has been Cover 4 Sports. We got the 4th back. Hope you guys enjoyed our little trip down the river the last couple of weeks while I was gone. But my trip across the ocean was probably a lot better than your trip across the river. So we will see you next week. And,
It's been real. It's been fun, but not real fun. See you guys later.
and-
Ride with your bitch in a top down, fuck with the beanie, no sauce.